Good morning. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. This is good. It's not like a kindergarten class, but let's try it again. Can I get a good morning?
Good morning.
Oh, I love it. So much power. Hey, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Carlos Carrillo. I'm the Executive Director of the South Florida chapter of the Associated General Contractors of America. I want to welcome you to our second Wednesday safety session presented by Milwaukee. Today is March 9th, 2022, and we are coming to you live from the offices of Stouts Construction in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Unless you're watching us on YouTube, then we're not live. But you can figure that out. At least I hope you can. As always, I want to start off by thanking the people who allow us to be here in person and to be with you here via Zoom as well. I want to thank the team at Kelly Cronenberg for their help. We've got Cedric Alexander out there making sure that everything sounds good and looks even better. And I also want to thank the team at Safe Right Solutions, who always provide us with a wonderful breakfast, and we're able to secure today's presenter. So thank you very much to the team at Safe Right. I also want to say thank you to, who am I missing here? I think we're good. Thanked everybody that we needed to thank. So thank you to everybody on the team. Hey, another important person, member of the team I mentioned before, Milwaukee. Today, I want to welcome Juan Fonseca. Juan Fonseca is out there working hard from his truck. Juan, can you go ahead and get your camera started? And I'll bring you on over into the screen. There we go, folks. I'm going to hand things off to Juan Fonseca. Juan, take over.
Good morning, everyone. How are we doing this morning? Sweet. Well, happy hump day to you guys. Again, I wish I could be there in person. I promise I'll make one here soon. Truly, on behalf of Milwaukee, I want to thank you guys for allowing us to, to partner with an organization like AGC. It's truly an honor. With that being said, with our safety session, if it's okay with Carlos, I like to kick off our presentation and get right into it.
Go right ahead, sir.
Let's see here. Let me know when you got it.
We're good.
Sweet. So again, guys, my name is Jay Fonseca. I am the safety specialist for Milwaukee Tool for the Southeast region. Just a heads up, Miami is the Southeast region, so I'll be working with you guys pretty close. I work alongside guys like Roger and Joey to support our team in the field. Anything health and safety related with Milwaukee Tool, you'll probably be hearing from me. Milwaukee's been known as a power tool company for quite some time. But as you'll see here and then moving forward, we made some big investments and support in the safety side. And today, just a piece of that, right? So today we're going to talk about some of our new climbing style helmets, and I'll dive right into that. So what it looks like. So we'll have the full offering. We'll have Class C and Class E, front brim and no brim launching in our helmets here. So why are we launching, Type 2 helmets? So, based on research on what's out there, traumatic brain injuries are one of the leading causes of fatalities on the job site. You see some of our stats here. A lot of fatalities are related to brain injuries. When I talk to, workers in the field is, if you hurt a hand, you got a backup. You hurt your brain, you don't really have a backup brain. So that's really why there's a big focus, not only from Milwaukee, but the industry on protecting the brain, keeping guys productive, keeping guys safe, and then letting workers get home safely to their families. That's why you'll see a big investment in helmets. Something that we're happy to announce: made in America. I had the honor of touring this facility up in McGuanago, Wisconsin. I'll give an extra gift card if somebody can say that after the presentation. It's McGuanago, just north of Milwaukee. Again, huge investment. All our head protection, whether it be hard hats or helmets, are made there. Including our customization, which I'll talk to here in a little bit in this presentation as well. And that does a number of things for us. Number one, we're able to increase the quality because we have hands-on from the beginning to the end of the process. Quicker turn times. Again, we control the whole process. So if we're ever in a pinch and a customer needs a large amount of PPE customization or helmets for a project, we're able to quickly adjust and make things happen. So that's kind of how we set ourselves apart. And then you'll see a ton more investments and innovation in this space as well with this investment in our facilities. just a little recap of, what's a hard hat and what's a helmet. Traditionally, what you're seeing on a lot of job sites are the ones on the left. These are called type 1 hard hats. All that means is you're literally only protected from protection on top. So if an object falls directly on top of your head, you're good to go. But if you fall or you're leaning down and something hits the back of your head or the side of your head, you're technically not protected. And you'll notice you're missing a chin strap. So, a lot of these projects, there's quite a bit of hazards around. So if you trip or slip, there's a good chance that might come off. That's where type 2 helmets come into play. They literally are better all around. They're a lot more comfortable. Typically when I talk to customers and make it, in layman's terms, I like to say, type 1s are kind of like VCRs. Type 2s are literally the latest and greatest. They're picking up a lot of steam on projects with general contractors, with safety directors, because they are so much better in every way. And I'll go over some of those features here in a little bit. Again, we're not the first to launch a climbing style helmet, but we are the first to launch an ANSI type rated type 2 helmet. And all ANSI is that's the North American standards for head protection. We're the first to be able to claim type 2 ANSI protection. Previously, a lot of other manufacturers would rely on what you see here on the right, which are the EN standards, which are European head protection standards. And to be honest, they're not really rated for job site or construction. They're more mountaineering standards, so like mountain biking, rock climbing, things like that. But at the time, that was the closest thing that guys can kind of claim and get by with. But now ANSI, is now that we have the type 2 rating, I'm sure you'll see other manufacturers try to rush to get that rating as well. And just a little recap on the classes. You see class G on here. We typically won't offer class G because the market really doesn't gravitate towards class G. It's either going to be class E or class C. Class C is obviously for any worker that comes in contact with high voltage, things like that, electricians, power utility. Then class C is vented. Typically guys that don't deal with electrical work, a little bit more breathable, obviously because it's vented, and it's one of the more common ones as well. So what we saw when we launched our product is we did see users that are having side accidents on their head. So that's a need for type 2. We saw some of the attachments that guys are putting on their hard hats, whether that be lights, things like that. So that's where we added stuff onto it as well. This is the one slider here, kind of gives you the recap of what we have available. Added onto it. I can send this after the presentation. You're able to change the attachments on your helmets, whether they be damaged or sweaty. You can swap those out. 7 colors available. If we don't have a color you offer, we will have the ability to color match in the near future. Kind of a landscape of where we're at against the competition. This is a video I'd like to show real quick here. Kind of shows the durability of our helmets against the competition. So this simulates the drop on a job site. Kind of shows you a little bit how we invest some of the materials that we put into our helmets as well. This is one slide that I kind of want to touch on. These attachments will be launching here in the near future. Please reach out to Roger or Joey if we'd like to get some of these on site and let you guys try these as well. Customization is a big one. I'll kind of wrap it up on this slide here. This is something that we really wanted to invest in and kind of put a lot of innovation. If I can, real quick, I'll show you guys something that I was able to whip up prior to the call here. Let me know if you guys can see this.
Nice. I like it.
So this here is what we're able to do as far as adding logos and quickly add customization. So just real quick, let me show you this. Go left, upload graphic. I'm trying to click this. I'm sorry. Try to click this is. Select graphic. This thing will load up. And just like that, you're able to, to do PPE, helmets, vests, things like that. And then make the order process a lot easier, and you're actually able to see what you're getting before you actually order it. So that's something that we're able to do now that we do it all in-house. Again, I can send this slide after the presentation. I give it to Roger, send out to you guys. If you guys don't have any questions, that does it for my portion today.
Hey, Juan, so you mentioned them reaching out to Roger. Can you give them the email address that they should reach out to for information on the helmets?
Sure. Yeah, I can. It'll be Roger's address, roger.flores@milwaukeetool.com. And he'll get in contact with myself, or he can actually has the ability to do these drafts as well.
All right, and I'll give you the address for my gift card. It's Mukwanago, okay? Mukwanago.
You got it.
So, all right, man. If you could stop sharing your screen, that'd be great. Thank you very much, Mr. Fonseca. We appreciate having you in Milwaukee support our safety sessions each month and also support our events. For those of you who aren't aware, they are also the title sponsor of our fishing tournament, which will be happening in July of this year. So thank you very much to the Milwaukee team. Speaking of events, we have a ton of great events coming up this month. I'd like to encourage you all to go to sfagc.org, click on the events link, and you'll see everything that's going on. But I want to highlight our upcoming Contractors and Clays, our Sporting Clays tournament sponsored by Titan Concrete. We're going to be going to Quail Creek Plantation in Okeechobee. That's going to be happening on Friday, April 29th. I encourage you to register now because registration for that event goes quickly, and we did sell out last year. We actually oversold. So if you got your shotgun and you're ready to go, we'd love to have you. Make sure that you register there. We include ammo, and my understanding is the brisket that we're going to be having for lunch is some of the best brisket in the state. So good food, good times, and no beer till after you're done shooting. Okay, that is how we work that event. Nothing but safety here. Yeah, it sounds safe. It is safe after you're done shooting. So, hey, on to why everybody's here. I am not a safety professional, which probably explains why I was shocked to see the statistics of deaths and injuries associated with the use of a ladder. We're in the midst of Ladder Safety Month here in March, and our safety committee felt it would be wise to discuss how safety professionals, how you all can address the proper use of this tool on your job sites. Our friends from Safe Right arranged for, well, it's Josh Babb. I have Drew Christie here, but we got the star of the show. So we got Josh Babb here representing Werner to join us and discuss ladder safety. Mr. Babb, please, the floor is yours, sir.
Great, thank you.
Good to go.
All right, we got a couple more coming in here. How's everybody doing this morning? Good. Good. So, show of hands to get started here. How many people in the room have climbed a ladder before? Keep your hands up if you fell from a ladder before.
There we go. That's the better question.
So, anytime that your feet leave the ground at any point of stepping on that ladder, we put ourselves in danger. Whatever. So we're going to cover some common practices. We're going to talk to you about inspection. We're going to talk to you about choosing the right ladder for the job and some innovation that we've done in order to make the job safe, a safer place for you guys when you have to use ladders on the job site. So our agenda today, creating a culture of safety. We want to get everyone home safe to their families at the end of the day. That's our main goal. Human conditions. Human conditions we're going to discuss, and this is a big part of it. You get out on the job site, and a lot of times the workers try to do anything in order to get the job done, and they sometimes put themselves in unsafe circumstances in order to get it done. So we're going to show you guys some pictures of how that actually happens. We'll talk to you about ANSI and OSHA, the differences, selection, inspection process, ladder use, and then alternate products that you can add into the ladders. So why ladder safety? We own protecting our employees, and that's really our mission and what we do from our ladders to our fall protection to our job site storage boxes to our truck boxes. Everything that we do within the Werner brand is about protecting our employees. Complacent. Ladders are taken for granted. So it seems like a common sense thing. We had everybody in the room raise their hand that they walked up a ladder before. So it's common sense using a ladder, right? Wrong. So I'm going to show you it has to be used properly. So ladder training is required by OSHA. So at the end of this, I'm going to provide all you guys with a ladder safety certificate for coming through the class today. this is something that you guys can offer. We come out to the job sites directly. We can come directly to the offices to provide the trainings. They're free of charge to you guys. I highly recommend that you guys use us. Like I said, it's Ladder Safety Month, and then also we're right around the corner is going to be Safety Stand Down Week. We are booked quickly on Safety Stand Down Week, so if you want to incorporate ladders into part of your Safety Stand Down Week, reach out to me. I'm happy to come out to the job sites and assist you guys. So accidents happen. Why? Inadequate training, improper use, violating OSHA standards, unsafe work conditions, improper ladder selection, use of damaged ladders, and incorrect setup. So here's some statistics for you. So 2,000 ladder injuries every single day. 2,000 people are going to get injured on a ladder today. 364 deaths caused by falls each year. That means somebody's going to die today. Somebody's dying every single day from a fall from a ladder. So 6 to 10 feet, most common ladder falls happen between 6 and 10 feet off the ground. So a lot of people think it would be going up 20, 30, 40 feet on extension ladders, but using standard 6, 8, and 10 foot step ladders is the most common falls that exist. $5.5 billion spent on workplace falls. That is a gigantic number. That's on the $5.5 billion related to falls. So falls from height are the third most common disabling workplace injury on the job site. And last, ladders are number 7 of the OSHA's top 10 most violations on the job site. So, and we'll go through those and make sure that you guys are covering the processes to make sure that OSHA isn't coming out and giving any of your contractors a violation. So, creating a culture of safety. Home and work should be perceived the same. Work like you would, walk traffic side. So, you offer yourself to protect a loved one when you walk traffic side. We need to protect our employees the same way. So the human condition, what is the human condition? The human condition is somebody gets out to work. They had a long weekend. Maybe they were drinking on a Sunday. They're hungover. They come out there. And so they're not completely in tune with what they're doing 100%. So the human condition is they're going out there to do their job. And so whatever they are seeing fit to do it in whatever piece of equipment, they're trying to get that job done. They're not saying, hey, is this the right piece of equipment to actually get the job done properly? So I provided a couple of pictures here. So it is never okay to step on top of the ladder here. But this guy deemed that this was the ladder that he had. This was the way that he was getting up the ladder. So he decided that he was using it rather than going and getting a larger ladder that he could be two steps down and properly enter the ceiling of that building. The crossover. The crossover is when the user is very conscious of his decision that he's making. So see this guy right here? He's smiling. He thinks this is funny. He thinks this is a safe situation that he's using in a sense. So he thinks that's okay. That's not okay. That's not proper use of the ladder. So as business leaders, we own driving a culture of safety. I mean, here's a guy putting think safety first. Right here. He's not thinking about his safety first. Whatever. And then this one is, I mean, it speaks for itself. So this is very important. So OSHA and ANSI. So everybody talks about what are the OSHA requirements on the job for the ladder. So OSHA sets the standard of the actual product usage of the ladder. So it's that, and then ANSI sets the standard and requirements for the actual design of the ladder itself. So can anybody in the room tell me what the recommended OSHA ladder pound rating is for a commercial job site? So recommended is 300, but there's no OSHA requirement. So that's very, very important. So it comes down to the general contractor at their discretion on the job. So OSHA recommends a type 1A 300-pound rated ladder, but they do not require it. So it's up to the GC to set the standard to each and every job of what ladders they want onto that job site. So choosing the right ladder height. So focusing on the reach height. So you're going to calculate ladder size, standing level, person's height, plus an additional 12 inch of reach that you have on it. So highest standing level, and this is always very important, gentlemen, you pay attention to this. So just because we have steps that go all the way up to the top of the ladder does not mean that you can walk to the top of the ladder and stand on the top of the ladder. So we have clear labels that are actually listed on here, and I have a label marked off for a reason that I'll cover with you guys later because I did it on purpose. But you are not to go above this step to here. So 2 steps down on standard, 3 steps on leaning. So it's clearly marked on the ladders of where you actually go to it. And so the key is to make sure that you're not stepping above the recommended height that we have labeled clearly on the labels. So highest standing level on extension ladders is 4 rungs down from the top. So choosing the right ladder style. So this is the most important thing, is having the right ladder style for the application on the job. So understanding where you need to get on the job site and what the proper ladder is to actually use on the job site. So duty rating. How do we come up with the duty rating? So the duty rating that you have to take in consideration on there is your body weight, the clothes, what you're actually wearing on it, and any equipment that you're going to have or be carrying on top of the ladder. So if you're a 280-pound guy and you have 10 pounds of clothing on and you're carrying another 30 pounds of equipment, then 300 pounds is not the right ladder for you. You need to move to a type 1AA 375-pound ladder. So understand the weight, everything that's going on the ladder with you when you are actually selecting the weight that you need for the ladder and the type and series of the ladder. So exceeding load capacity may cause the ladder to collapse. So choosing the right ladder material. So there's only 2 ladder materials now, fiberglass and aluminum. There used to be wood. Wood does not exist in the industry any longer. The cost of wood has eliminated wood ladders from being a ladder that's manufactured any longer. So why would somebody choose aluminum over fiberglass? Anybody know? Weight, correct, by your weight.
Carrying it or exposure.
Yeah, so
Exposed.
less corrosion that you're going to have on it with aluminum fiberglass. So the important thing though is aluminum is conductive to electricity. So if you're going to be allowed electricity, you are not allowed to use an aluminum ladder, which most of these jobs on there, you're going to be exposed to electricity on the job. And so the most common used ladders on job sites are fiberglass ladders. So ladder safety inspection forms. So the question, how often should you inspect your ladders? Prior to every use, you should inspect the ladders. We recommend at least once a year that you call us in as the manufacturer to actually do a ladder inspection. We bring out the forms, we mark every ladder on it. We go from top to bottom on the ladders and give you documentation that they have been inspected. And then we tag out what our service is not safe for your guys' use. So we have these forms readily available. If you guys need these forms, let me know, and I'm happy to send them to you if you want to create this as a normal practice onto your job sites. So step ladder components. So this is very important when inspecting, and we'll go through this, but on a step ladder, there's 12 different components to the step ladder on it. So it's not just looking at just one ladder itself. There's 12 different components that you have to look at in the point of inspection. On extension ladders, there's 16 different components within the extension ladder that you need to do within the point of inspection. So we'll run through this here in a moment. So the inspection process. So we always call walk it down on the inspection process. So you want to start right at the top on that. You want to look at this. You want to see, is it cracked, loose, any missing pieces on it, any rivets loose on it, make sure that it's in good working condition. From there, you want to move down to the rails on this. So once you move to the rails, you want to make sure that there's no frays in the rails. If you're able to rub your hand down this and you start to see orange fiberglass come on it, that's generally where, especially in Florida here, a couple of the components that we have is sun and salt that we deal with on the job sites, which causes corrosion on the actual ladders. So start seeing the fiberglass start to come off the ladder, that's a sign that it's going to get cracked very soon, and you need to pull that ladder out of service. So anything that's, if you see any cracks, frays on it, tag it out of service. On there, steps, make sure that the steps are all tactfully in place, nothing's loose on the steps, all the rivets are properly in place on it. So spreader, this is very important. And this is an easy way to know. If you're using a 200, 225 pound or 250 pound ladder, the spreader braces will be on the outside of the ladder. On 300 and 375, you'll see the spreader braces on the inside. It offers more protection, more durability on there. And I'm sure you guys have never, who here's walked a ladder before?
I'm not.
You guys are liars.
I'm not admitted.
So when you walk a ladder, it immediately puts stress on these spreader braces and will weaken them. And so if it's loose and shaking on it, you know that spreader brace is going to break soon. Tag it out of service. So labels. This is one of the most important things here, and one of the most common things that OSHA drills guys on. So all the labels on the ladder have to be legible to read from. All the safety instructions to the actual model and rating of the ladder, and the recommendations of leaning. This is telling you on this, so this is the point. I bring this ladder to show you that this label is not okay on there. So if you have a label where they can't read and they don't know that they can't step above that height on there, then it's an issue. So OSHA will tag that and a lot of times fine you for not having proper labels on it. So always make sure that we have replacement labels available if the ladders are in good working condition. So reach out to whoever you buy your ladders from, and they can provide you replacement labels to actually keep the ladders up in good working condition. You don't have to take the ladder out of service because a label has been rubbed off if it's still in good working condition. And then the base, make sure that the shoes are in good working conditions. One of the things that guys do as soon as they pull it out of their truck is they immediately slam it down and open it up. So a lot of times that'll create cracks in the actual feet of the ladder when you're in the truck. So, and then just in general, rust, corrosion, anything loose on the ladder. These are a need for the ladder to get to the heights that we have to work with. They're extremely dangerous. So if it's not in good working condition, pull it out, tag it out of service, replace it. So this covers on the labels here, inspection process, all labels have to be legible. So for that legible, reach out, let's get replacement labels and make sure that they can read all the labels on the ladders. So we went through a lot of this. So inspection progress, tag and remove from service any defective ladders, clean fiberglass ladders. So that's one of the things that we see a lot of times, that there'll be dirt and smut and different buildup that comes on the sets of ladders. Always make sure that the traction on the ladders is nice and clean and gives you good grip to actually go up the ladder still. Replace Werner frayed ropes on extension ladders, lubricate pulleys on extension ladders regularly, and destroy ladders that cannot be repaired by an authorized person by the manufacturer. So best thing is when you tag them out of service, get a sawzall, cut them up, throw them out. We see a lot of ladders that are tagged, set off to the side, and then somebody goes and grabs them and puts them right back into use. So what you should not do after inspection: do not make temporary or makeshift repairs. Do not try to straighten or use bent or bowed ladders.
Question,
Yes,
on
sir.
the back side of the step ladder, if that, it's not a rump, but if that's bent, how much of an unsafe ladder is it, Brett?
It still needs to be pulled out of service. So it's
I
never,
understand that.
the only time that, because what happens is you're putting stress on the actual rivets here.
Okay.
And so the design of the ladder itself is the full ladder. We have double entry ladders that if you need two people to actually work on a ladder, that we have the entry on it and it's marked in that format. So this ladder clearly says do not climb back section of the ladder. So once again, we label everything on the ladders. We try to make the ladder dummy proof on it, but people still use it in the wrong format. I wasn't supposed to use that word for it.
What? No,
Yeah.
we're good. That one's good. Hey, Josh, I do have a question from the group,
Yes.
and it seems like you're comfortable taking questions
Yes.
as they come in. So if you are on Zoom, please use the chat feature to submit your questions. And so we have a question from Mr. Humberto Aguilar. When replacing labels, can they be put on the inside of the legs? This is so they are legible. It is not specified with OSHA.
They still need to be put on the outer, unless we have labeling that's on the inside. So replacement label needs to go in place to where we actually have placement on the ladders.
So it needs to go where the previous label
Correct.
was.
Yes.
Understood. All right, Mr. Aguilar, thank you. We miss you here, buddy, but thanks for the question.
So run real quick through improper use. Do not stand above the highest standing level. Never climb a closed step ladder. Do not stand, step, or sit on a step ladder top. Never permit more than one person on a single-sided ladder or extension ladder. Do not place the base of an extension ladder too close to a building. Do not climb down with your back to the ladder. Do not use without inspecting first. Use for other than intended purpose. Do not climb from one ladder to another. Do not stand on braces and back step of the ladder. Never move a ladder by bouncing or walking the ladder. Do not overreach. Do not use a broken or damaged ladder. Do not leave tools or materials on the ladder. Move the ladder from top extension. Do not tie ladders together. So very important on this. And so overreaching is a problem that we have on the job from a guy that doesn't want to step down from the ladder and actually move the ladder to the next spot where he's in a safe working spot. So can anybody tell me the rule of thumb of how far you should actually reach when you're on a ladder and what is permissible and safe? Anybody know?
I say nothing outside the elbows.
So the belt buckle is what you, so your belt buckle is your center of gravity that you have it here. So on each side of the rail of the ladder, you never want to extend past your belt buckle on each side. If you're extending past your belt buckle, you need to step down from the ladder, move it over to the next spot, and then get back and work to the ladder. So ladder accessories. So these are important in different formats that we allow the ladder for application to be a safer ladder for you to use. So levelers, stabilizer, gates, hooks, ladder manufacturers test accessories that are factory installed and user installed to ANSI A14.8. So third-party accessories are not endorsed by us. So a lot of we'll see guys add stuff onto the ladders themselves to try to design the ladders. That voids the warranty of the ladder if you put a third-party accessory onto our ladders. So evolution of climbing products. So the gentleman right here talked about this, and so this is our podium ladder. And so our podium ladder has became our second largest selling ladder. It has past extension ladders on it, and this ladder was an evolution of what we had, what was originally called a platform ladder. So what we did with the platform ladder is we took a standard A-frame ladder, put a platform on it, put a shin guard on it, and then gave them a stable working place to actually do their job itself. The problem with that is it didn't allow third point of contact, and it didn't allow true working movement for the guy on the job to properly do the job. So what we did with the podium was we took our A-frame ladder, we contoured the design out, we gave you a larger working platform, and then we created a contour design here to allow you to always have a third point of contact when you're actually working on the job. And so this has become the most mandated ladder on the actual job sites by a lot of the larger contractors. And so within case studies, this ladder itself has reduced incidents on the job sites by over 90%. So, and I say that in 90%, I've been out on job sites where people have got injured on a podium ladder. I had one during safety stand down last year that I did, that a guy fell off the back of the podium ladder. They didn't know about the podium gate, and they said, if I had the gate, the guy wouldn't have fell off the back. But he ended up breaking his hand, falling off the back and bracing his hand whenever that was doing this. So point of the podium ladder is you have 360 degrees of workability on the ladder. This is an accessory. The gate doesn't come standard, but you can add this on it. And what this does is this locks you in and gives you complete protection on the ladder. So at this point, you always have your third point of contact, either 2 feet and your hip, which is the strongest point of our body. So this is quickly became our most popular style ladder. We have it in both 300-pound and 375-pound rated. We start at 2 foot on it and go all the way up to 12 foot in length. It's very important when you get a podium ladder, if you're used to using A-frame ladders, that you actually always order 2 feet below. So the podium rating is at the platform level, not the height of the ladder. So if you bought 6 foot A-frame ladders, you would buy 4 foot podiums. 8, 6. So always deduct 2 feet down at any point when you're ordering a podium ladder to the standard traditional A-frame ladder that you would actually use. So this ladder right here, how many of you guys have seen people have ladders leaned up against a wall and then walking up the wall on an actual ladder? That is not approved by OSHA to actually have a ladder that you lean against. This is a OSHA approved leaning ladder on this. So what we did is we changed the feet on this and gave a more contoured design to the feet. And we also created padding for more grip. When you actually go up against the wall, we have the ability to put it within poles on there, but this is the ladder. And another thing we did on this is we changed the railing colors. So from a distance, you're able to see if the worker is using something. And the only ladders we make with 2 different railing colors of the orange and yellow are an actual leaning ladder. It's for identification to say, all right, if the guy's leaning it, he's using an OSHA approved leaning ladder that works for the job. We make this in 4 foot up to 12 foot. So there's some areas on the job where you have to lean the ladder in order to get to the application of the job. So this is the ladder that you need to use for that application. So that was not. This is not approved for leaning. Yes, sir.
Are there any podium ladders that are adjustable or they allow you to change the height of the platform?
No, not at this point. We do, the only accessory that we have on these is we have casters that you can get. They're spring-loaded casters. So that's nice because it allows you to quickly move it from position to position. When you put any pressure on it, the spring load basically locks you down to the ground on it. So the gate and the casters are the only add-on accessories to the podium. We've had that requested before, though. It would probably, to do adjustments, is a lot of testing and would become a very expensive ladder. So before I go into the online resources, this is something that's not in the presentation, but this is kind of outside of what a lot of people don't think about. Show of hands, who has a rescue plan on the job if somebody is to fall off the side of the building? Rescue plan right here, rescue plan right here. So this is what we call our rescue ladder here. So this is through Werner, through an acquisition of a company that we made a little bit over a year ago. And so what this is an 18-foot ladder that you can actually tie off to your anchor point and throw off to the side of the building. We do this with a belay and without a belay system. So 2 different options that you can get on this, but this provides a solution for you to safely secure your worker that has fell off the side of the building and be able to safely bring him back up off the side of the building. So if you guys don't have a plan, this OSHA requires you to have a rescue plan on the job, and this gives you a solution for your rescue plan with the rescue ladder. So a lot of people don't know about this ladder, and so I thought it was important that you guys see this today. So online resources, and I'll share this with you, Carlos, so you have this, but we have training modules that are available through YouTube. I'm behind the ladders. American Ladder Institute, and then straight through OSHA on all the resources that you need on the ladders. We have videos that are available in both English and Spanish, tutorials, tests. If you want to give new hires the video to watch at the start of it, so if you guys need videos, let me know. We have plenty of videos that are available and the tests that you can provide to your new workers on the job.
Questions.
I got it. It gives you the total person. when you were up on there, I felt that your gravity, your center of gravity, could easily not that the railing would work. You could easily fall off that compared to someone smaller, where that railing would give them like a guardrail.
So we originally, when we designed the platform ladder, like I said, it was at a shin level that it was, and we raised up this level to try for average height of workers on the job site to try to put it at the hip level, whatever, to give you the most secure third point on the ladder with this. But height does make a difference, but we try to, because we can't make a ladder for every height of the person on the job, we tried to go with average worker height for the design of the ladder itself. Yes, sir.
You have a lot of contractors that will take a clip or a piece of stud and sort of make their own little tool holder
Yes.
on the side of, does the installation of that totally void the ladder?
Yes, it does. We had some specialty ladders that we had electrician's ladder and plumber's ladders and some different ladders that we had built over the years that had some of those accessories built onto them. The demand for those ladders, because of the cost of the accessories we added on, just were not viable to us to continue those ladders, and they've ultimately been discontinued. But any addition of third-party accessories will void the warranty of the ladder.
And then if you unscrew that, and you still have the screw holes in the ladder, is the ladder still void?
For the podium gate?
For the podium or a standard ladder, if you have, if you put some screws on, if you see somebody, has, takes two electrical clips and he can put his tools or whatever, you say, look, you can't have that. And then you go, okay, we're gonna take those out. There are now 6 screw holes in the top part of the ladder.
Would you like to share your screen?
Yeah, I was gonna
Give
take.
me one moment,
Does
please.
that still void that ladder, even though they removed it?
It does. So a lot of our ladder tops have areas where you can actually put your screws that you can, we have a lot of ladder add-on accessories where you can lay strut across, that you can have your paint, that you can have a lot of different. So we have clip-in accessories that we urge people to use with our A-frame ladders that are available, and you'll see them. A lot of them will clip right in the front of here. So like I said, when you use third-party accessories, no matter what it is, and you take away the integrity of the ladder, it's going to void the warranty on it.
Okay, so even if you take the clip off, and you still have, say, 3 or 4 screw holes in the top.
Yes.
Does that void the entire ladder?
That voids the warranty on the ladder. Yes.
Now, what about, I've seen where some guys are wearing like they'll put they don't drill into it, they don't do nothing, but it just covers and it has a bunch of areas where they can put all the tools in. By them not damaging the ladder,
That's fine.
At
At that point, you want to just make sure that you're meeting the weight requirements
Right.
of everything that you're adding on, including yourself and your body weight.
So as long as you're not drilling into it or.
Correct. Any drilling outside of approved our accessories, like the podium gate that you would drill in, will void the warranty of the ladder.
How many ladders do you guys, I guess, refurbish?
Refurbish?
Well, you said that if they wanted to repair a ladder, send it back to the manufacturer. To me, that's a refurbished ladder.
With virtually zero.
So nobody.
But no, by the time the ladder's in the condition that it needs to be refurbished, you're tagging out a service and getting a new ladder. The cost of the ladder, I mean, freight's going to be more for shipping a ladder than it is to just get a new ladder. Went too fast.
The feedback I've gotten from guys using the platform ladders, they're more comfortable up there.
It's less worker fatigue.
And supposedly the work has gotten even better from talking to some supervisors. So I think that is the new sliced bread.
So this shows some of the job buckets that clip right in here. Now you think about being on a normal standing work platform compared to being on a ladder like this, whatever, that even at the top, that you're at a forward lean, trying to get a center of balance of what you're doing. So you're putting pressure on your lower back at all times because you're not standing straight up. You're leaning forward to give yourself a center of balance on it. So positioning of that to a standing work platform, you have less worker fatigue and more productivity out of the worker off the platform ladder.
And you're only balancing on the, 2.5-inch wide step.
Right. And you don't have a third point of contact. Any other questions?
That's it. You guys are easy.
I got one last.
Yes, sir.
Job site ladders that are made of on the construction site.
Yes.
Do you guys ever get involved with them, or you basically leave them to follow the OSHA standards?
I generally get called out after somebody's injured off a job site ladder for an emergency training before OSHA shows up there. That's the most common involvement that I have with job site built ladders.
Come on, guys, let's go.
And,
All right.
anybody else?
We're good. That's the mark of a good presentation.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, sir. So I'd like to thank Josh for his presentation today. I'd like to thank again the team at Safe Ride Solutions for bringing the Werner team here to be with us today and having some actual ladders for us to test out and hang out on. So thank you very much. Just a reminder, I want to thank you all. I want to remind you all that AGC of America's National Convention is going to be held from March 28th through March 31st. They are going to be at Grapevine, Texas. The safety track that they have at convention is awesome. They'll also be handing out the Willis Towers Watson Safety Awards, which is a nationally recognized award. I can't wait to see some of you all receiving those awards in the next couple of years. You know who you are. Yeah, looking at you, don't look up at me. But I'm looking forward to those submissions soon. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget, check out our website, sfagc.org/events. You're going to see everything that's going on this month. Again, Contractors and Clays happening April 29th. We will be back with you again, second Wednesday of next month for our next safety session. I would like to thank those folks that helped make this possible. I'm going to start off with our safety committee members, Deborah Hampton, Ian Schwartz, who's also an awesome host here with the teams of Styles Construction, Jose Bobadilla, Mark Leon, Enrique Sequeira, and Brian Cardona. I also want to recognize our sponsors again, Milwaukee Tools, Kelly Cronenberg, Safe Ride Solutions, and our hosts from Styles. Once again, I want to thank the team from Werner for presenting to us all again today. You'll be receiving an email with information from Werner in this presentation. Thank you all very much for your time. Have a great afternoon.